Hello, everyone. It is Friday, September 25th, and we are here with Julie Hill, our UW Extension Walworth County Master Gardener. And today is wrap up to fall 2020, which we're happy to see that go, but not our gardens. We're going to miss our gardens, but Julie has lots of sage advice for us and exciting sharing of tools. Take it away, Julie.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Yes, happy Friday, everybody, and happy fall. We're officially into fall right now. So, it's been a great week weather-wise. I would hope it could continue. So I've been really happy to be here every Friday with Michelle and Aram Public Library. I want to thank you, Michelle and Aram Library, for hosting us every week. We've been really happy to be here and offer a little bit of gardening advice and answer questions. I want to remind everybody that all of our videos are on Aram's Facebook page. So if you go to their Facebook page, you can see all the videos that they put out. A lot of great stuff on there, not just for gardening, but all of their programs are on there. So it's been fun to be here every week. We're kind of in this change of seasons right now. So hopefully you'll be seeing us again, but just not every Friday at noon like we've been doing. So go check out our past videos. If you have questions that you think about from your own yard or garden, I'll put my email in the comments box. So you can just email me directly. Any gardening questions you have, please let me know. So again, my name is Julie. I am with the University of Wisconsin-Madison Division of Extension. My title is Horticulture Outreach Specialist. So what does that mean? I really just want to help you become more successful in your own gardening endeavors. If you have gardening questions about things going on in your yard or your lawn or vegetable gardens, whatever they may be, you can contact me directly. I really try to provide credible information to all of you. So we really connect all of our local communities with the research and the educational resources from UW-Madison. Our Master Gardener Volunteer Program is a huge part of that. We have about 130 volunteers between Rock and Walworth counties. Those are the counties that I work with specifically, and they are volunteers for extension working in our local communities. And they are really there to help educate all of you about gardening and natural resources too. We live in a beautiful area of Wisconsin, and we want to help take care of it. So our volunteers do complete annual certification requirements, including community service and continuing education. So I just want to touch briefly on the Master Gardener Volunteer Program. In case you're interested, you can contact me directly with more information, more questions. We really use the Master Gardener Program and our volunteers to help educate all of you in our communities. That's really how we can extend the education and information from the university and really ultimately make a positive difference in individual lives and also as a community. Master Gardener volunteers, I know that says the word master in there, but it's okay not to know everything about gardening. It's okay if you're just getting started off and you're interested in serving your community in a new and fun way through gardening. Really, our Master Gardener volunteers are really good at finding information and finding resources. So it's okay to say, I don't know the answer to that, but let me find out for you. So really, our Master Gardener volunteers just want to help all of you become better gardeners, be more successful, more productive. And it's a great way to volunteer locally to support all of our local communities. Whether you're volunteering in your own community or nearby, we have volunteer projects all over the county. You can refer to our website, wimastergardener.org, for updates. You can contact me directly if you have questions. Check it out if you're looking for a volunteer program. So just to touch kind of briefly, we've talked a lot about gardening and different things this season. And maybe you are an avid gardener, maybe you're not, maybe you're just kind of interested in it, but there's so many benefits and there's a lot of research I can share with you that backs all of this up. It's really quite interesting, but for all of these reasons, intellectual, physical, emotional, social, spiritual, all of these reasons are great ways to get outside. And, especially with mental health concerns and COVID just flipping our worlds upside down, I encourage all of you, even if you don't have your own garden or think you don't have space for a garden, go outside. Enjoy being outside in nature. There's so many things that happen when we're outside, and digging in the dirt and working with plants is a great way to even have more benefits. Intellectual benefits. Some people feel more creative. It's a great hobby. There's a lot of, kind of the planning process that goes in if you are thinking about gardening and experimenting. It's all great intellectual benefits. Obviously, the physical benefit. I know I was weeding the other day. I was cleaning out my vegetable garden and I'm pulling out weeds and I'm raking, and it's just great physical exercise to be outside. And there's something to be said for just the sensory stimulation. When we're outside and looking around, if you think about how many different types of green there are outside in nature, that's sensory stimulus for our eyes. So our eyes have to process that information to our brains, and you know, all the different smells that are outside. So it's really great that way. There's a lot of emotional benefits, which I'm sure you can imagine. Stress release is probably the biggest one. It's so therapeutic. As I was cleaning up that garden that I mentioned, I felt really like cathartic. I just felt like, okay, it's time to clean up. We're in this kind of transition into fall. It felt therapeutic. It felt good. It's a great diversion. If you are kind of stressed about something or need to take your mind off a problem you're having, go outside and either go for a walk, do some gardening. Just, it's a great diversion. There's also a lot of social and spiritual aspects. Being part of the Master Gardener Volunteer Program is a great social one. There's a lot of sharing that happens with our volunteers within themselves and with their communities. Generational traditions. I remember my mom, you know, pulling up the potatoes in the garden, and it was my job as a real little girl to wash them off. I saw a lot of gardening from my parents. So you may have a grandparent that inspired you to do something, or maybe you can remember those things when you were a kid, but you haven't really been doing them lately. And, you know, it's a good time to get back to that and connect to those rituals. And of course, spiritual benefits, whatever your belief systems are. It's a great spiritual release, spiritual benefits to connect with nature. So a couple of things. I was talking to my Master Gardener volunteers about, you know, what are their benefits from gardening? What do they get out of it? They have all obviously been interested in gardening. A lot of them have been doing it for a long time. Some have just been starting off. But one of our volunteers talked about how the other day she went out into her garden and cut some flowers. She cut the zinnias and the marigolds and kind of kept going for around an hour, just cutting off leaves and different flowers in her yard and making some beautiful arrangements just for her home and to bring to a friend. And it made me think, yeah, I love having fresh cut flowers in my house too. It just kind of brightens things up, right? And there's actually research that shows that it helps with stress release. It's actually been proven through research that there is a reduction in stress when you have flowers inside. So go outside. If you don't have flowers in your yard, maybe a neighbor's yard or somewhere where you can go and get some flowers and bring them inside. It really does help. And also just to kind of mention getting outside. It's so therapeutic to be outside. Even if you're just going for a walk, we live in a great area of southeastern Wisconsin. There's so many areas to go out for a good walk outside in nature, away from the city, away from town, away from that urban environment. And it's really going to help our mental health too. So I asked a couple of Master Gardeners, I'm going to give you their responses here. What do you like best about gardening? What do you like least? And Ruth, one of our certified Master Gardeners, she said, it just happens on so many levels. There's the physical part of tending plants, the intellectual part of learning and adapting to different situations, philosophical choices about how and why, and practical problem solving, financial gain. So what she's referring to there, you know, if you can grow your own vegetables, that's going to cut down on money you have to spend. The cultural traditions, the emotional association of plants and specific people or places, and there's just so much more. And what do you like least? The gap between my dreams and on the ground reality. And I can attest to that too. Sometimes I have these grand plans and then they don't really pan out sometimes. Nina, one of our Master Gardeners here just locally, was talking about there's just so many aspects to gardening that she enjoys, from planning to the planting, different types, annuals and perennials, to watching them sprout and bloom, cutting them, and finally putting the garden to bed for the winter months. Gardening is a lifelong hobby that one can enjoy all season long. And then what do you like least? Weeding. Well, I think we all probably like the least weeding, although it is therapeutic, but weeding when the garden gets dry and compacted, then it feels overwhelming. And that's true. But then when you accomplish it, you have that sense of accomplishment of you did it. And Brenda, also another local certified Master Gardener volunteer, which said when she was younger, she used gardening as a time to decompress, and pulling weeds is very therapeutic for me. And now it is the social aspect of gardening that she enjoys. Being a Master Gardener and a member of a garden club has connected her to a group of people she wouldn't ever get to meet otherwise. And what do you like the least? The mosquitoes and dragging heavy hoses. But at the end of the day, it's that sense of I did that makes it worthwhile. So I encourage all of you to go outside, spend some time outside. Winter's around the corner, unfortunately, but and start thinking about, maybe if you don't garden already, think about how you can start incorporating some of that. Now, I did ask our master gardeners too about tools you can't live without. Now, I'm not suggesting you go out and buy all new tools, but maybe there's a few things that you can just kind of up your game with in the gardening world. Starting on the left there is the cobra head. It's a type of cobra head weeder. So you can see that big long curve, and that is great for digging out those tough weeds like dandelions. Dandelions have a taproot that could be like 3 feet long. So they're tough. They're tough to get out. So that cobra head tool there is great for weeding. I was telling Michelle before the program about this diamond hoe. You can see pictured sort of in the middle there. It is a very sharp blade in the shape of that diamond. You can move the hoe back and forth, and it has a long handle, so you can stand up and just be moving your arm back and forth, so you're not bent over. It's a lifesaver on the back. I will say it's a little pricier. It's about $95 depending on where you get it. So again, I usually personally don't buy much. I usually have a hard time spending that type of money. So I understand it, but I will say it has been a game changer and has made weeding more enjoyable because I can get a lot more done with it. Good shovels are important too. The one kind of there with that purple handle is another one from Nina that she uses, especially to divide her perennials and dig out things. Just a really good shovel, has a nice handle on there. The one with the yellow handle came from Ruth. That's a long handle shovel. Again, nice sharp blade on it. A good hand shovel, you can see when you buy a hand shovel if it's all one piece or if it's kind of welded together. Avoid the plastic ones. You want a good shovel that's going to be sturdy. If you're like me and you're digging in that garden, sometimes you really are digging and you don't want your shovel to break. The other tool that's been very commonly commented on by our master gardeners is a hori knife, and that's that kind of smaller. It's a blade. It actually has a blade all the way around. So nice sharp digging tool for digging, weeding, if you need to cut something or divide something. So these are just some examples. Again, if you don't have something in your arsenal and you want to go pick up something, just some suggestions for some tools that will really help you become better gardeners even. So I also asked our master gardeners just kind of final words of advice. This is our last weekly program. I'm sure we'll join up with you again in the future, but kind of parting words. And the biggest advice from most of our gardeners is just to start small and keep it simple. Just because something fails doesn't mean it's going to fail every time. Maybe, tweak something, change one of the conditions, and then try again. And Brenda said one cool plant well taken care of is way more satisfying than a huge garden that you lose control of or you'd have to give up on. So really, and I'll share one more tidbit that I heard from a speaker saying, the soil and the earth, they don't care who you are. They don't care the color of your skin. They don't care what you do for a living. They don't care if you have a lot of money or not money. The soil doesn't care, but the soil will provide you with so many benefits, right? So if you garden or you're outside in nature, enjoy it and be a part of it and let that soothe you and let that help you with whatever you're going through, especially during these crazy times during 2020. I know it's been a year, but these types of things will help us get through it. So again, I'm going to post my email in those comments. Please contact me with whatever questions you have, comments, what you want to learn about. We'd be happy to do more programs in the future too. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. And I think I'm going to run right out and get a diamond hoe.
Yeah.
I can see that being really something that really works for me. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of Aram Public Library and all of our watchers out on Facebook. Thank you so much for all the hard work you and the Master Gardeners have done for us, Julie. And everyone, thanks for joining us on our journey this summer through our gardens. And take care, and hopefully we'll be connecting with Julie in the future. So thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Stay safe and stay healthy.